Hey there writers, welcome to Ink from the Fountain and writing tips number 5, adverbs. So let me get ready, drag this down here. Okay, so I've got something here from Stephen King, who is a writer I like and who wrote a book called On Writing. It's a small piece from the book and it's for educational purposes, so I think we are okay on copyright grounds. So let me read this out. The adverb is not your friend. Adverbs are words that modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They're the ones that usually end in ly. Adverbs, like the passive voice, seem to have been created with the timid writer in mind. With adverbs, the writer usually tells us he or she is afraid she isn't expressing herself clearly, that he or she is not getting the point or the picture across. Consider the sentence, he closed the door firmly. It's by no means a terrible sentence. At least it's got an active verb going for it. But you ask yourself if firmly really has to be there. You can argue that it expresses a degree of difference between he closed the door and he slammed the door, and you'll get no argument from me. But what about context? What about all the enlightening, not to say emotionally moving prose which came before he closed the door firmly? Shouldn't this tell us how he closed the door? And if the foregoing prose does tell us, isn't firmly an extra word? Isn't it redundant? Okay, let me bring that back here and tab across. Okay, so yeah, Stephen King is one guy that's advised against using too many adverbs, and it's something that when I became aware of it and started reading through my own work, yeah, it's just another one of these things that to me it just doesn't really sound good. I've got an example down here and I'll show you how to change it. Instead of "why don't you mind your own business," Jack said angrily. So obviously angrily is an adverb there. If we wanted to communicate that emotion, rather than Jack said angrily, we could change the dialogue attribution verb to, from said angrily, we could change it to something like spat. If you spit your words at somebody, it shows the anger inherently. Okay, "why don't you mind your own business," Jack spat. Or Jack. It's another one. Jack growled. Yeah, okay, so yeah, just use a better verb. That's a way of getting rid of the adverbs. Next one. Anne ran quickly to the corner. Again, we can use a different verb. Instead of ran quickly, and sprinted to the corner and dashed to the corner. Alright, now if you go back through some of your own writing and find cases where you've used a lot of adverbs, if you read through it with this in mind, you might find that it doesn't sound too great, and yeah, using different verbs is a way to fix it. Alright, you'll find that there are other people, it's not just Stephen King that advises against using too many adverbs, but yeah, try it out. And once again, this is not a rule. Occasionally you will want to use an adverb, and there's nothing wrong with that. These are not the laws of writing. These are just, again, pieces of advice that some very experienced writers have given us, and I'm just passing this one on. Alright, so if that tip has helped you, please click like down below, and again, if you want to see more writing tip videos or other things from Ink from the Fountain, click the subscribe button. Thanks guys, catch you next time.